like, okay, girl, instead of unplugging from the matrix and being like, yeah, this, like YOLO dolo, like whatever, you can be like Cypher, but not evil though, not evil, but just realizing that you in the matrix and realizing like, this is a stake. I know this isn't real. I know that I'm in the illusion, but I can still enjoy the steak. Mind you, I don't eat meat, but but you get the analogy though. I'm tired of running. I'm tired of running. I'm tired of hiding. I'm tired of forgetting why I even came on this planet. I've come to the realization that the matrix is my playground, okay? I'm not about to let the stress of the world try to keep me down. I'm just honoring the fact that, yeah, I am a sensitive being. I am an empath or like whatever. And so I just have to manage life accordingly. You know, there's certain graces that I need to give myself. There's certain systems I need to implement. There's certain like routines that I need in order to maintain stability mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. And I'm just done like shaming myself for that or like criticizing myself for that. And it's just like, yeah, if you a sensitive soul, do what you need to do to manage your spirit. Side note, this is kind of connected, but I went to the dentist the other day because of course I had a cavity. I can eat kale and get a damn cavity, okay? Like, Andy eats Snickers all day. No, he don't, but I'm saying, he could eat Snickers all day and not get one cavity. It's like, I don't understand, you know? And then even with someone, it's like, even something with that, it's like, girl, stay rooted, stay grounded, understand this system. Like, if that's the case for you, get the fluoride treatment. Like, I know you worry about your third eye, your chakras getting blocked. Girl, do what you gotta do for you. Period, point blank. Just like release the dogma, you know, like release the dogma, honor the laws of the universe, honor the systems and cycles and routines and the seasons of this life. And everything doesn't have to be judged as something that's good or bad or, you know, spiritual or secular or like whatever, you know. And so in this space, I'm realizing like, okay, yeah, you know, I've been working on me. Okay, your girl been doing her shadow work, okay, her affirmations, her higher self visualizations, okay? But have you been sitting down and actually doing the work? You know, yeah, I think sometimes, you know, especially in this sort of like conscious collective community, you know, we can really get caught up in the healing journey, but not actually root and ground into this physical 3D earth plane and actually do the work. Yeah, we doing like the spiritual work, but like, okay, now it's time to do the taxes. You know, I guess it's time to pay the bills. It's time to go get your teeth cleaned. It's time to actually do the stuff that's necessary to operate successfully in this world. And now, of course, it doesn't have to look like anybody's version of success. And that's the other thing that I'm learning is just getting clear on how I define success. Because y'all, I was getting caught into some of the nihilism. You know, when you have a level of, when you've been on a journey for so long, you realize like, oh, nothing matters. Like nothing really matters. You know, we just atoms floating around, bouncing around, you know, being a mirror of ourselves, being a reflection of source energy manifested in these physical planes. Like, okay, so but I'm like, okay, girl, instead of unplugging from the matrix and being like, yeah, this, like YOLO dolo, like whatever, you can be like Cypher, but not evil though, not evil, but just realizing that you in the matrix and realizing like, this is a stake. I know this isn't real. I know that I'm in the illusion, but I can still enjoy the steak. Mind you, I don't eat meat, but you get the analogy though. Like, you get what I'm saying though, you know? Like, and what's crazy about the matrix, like Cypher wanted to be plugged back in. And it's like, yeah, cause you over here eating fucking porridge every day. He tired of that shit. You know, so I feel like, okay, we can have the understanding. We can like romanticize this experience. You know, we don't have to be heavy. This sort of like a spiritual awakening journey doesn't have to be this dark thing where everything now is like, oh, capitalism, the patriarchy, like, at all, you know. It's like now I'm just sort of like, I'm like, okay, what if I actually romanticize this experience and like realize, yeah, okay, I am a spirit being having a human experience. I am jacked into the matrix. This is a movie, this is a dream, this is source manifestation in this physical realm. There's no good, there's no bad, there's no need for judgment, there's no need for separation because we're all one. okay, how can you make it fun then? Like how can you play? How can you just bring the joy, you know? And so that's what's really been helping me in the process of, oh, you know what? And shout out to one of y'all. Look, speaking of Kendrick, okay, actually one of the comments was from a subscriber named Kendrick, who commented on one of my videos where I talked about that I had like lost my drive. You know, you get to a level of healing, you get to a level of like spiritual awakening, which we're not even about to get caught up into too many words that can introduce confusion, you know, but I think y'all get my context, you know, especially if you clicked on this video. I feel like you somebody who might be kind of tuned in, tapped in, okay? So it's like, okay, you have a level of realization that life is genuinely what you make it. I'm creating my world. I'm creating my experiences. This is all matter and atoms and molecular energy going on, you know? So it's like, okay, now what? So I've been coming to the realization like, yeah, girl, like have fun. Like frolic, skip the deedly do, like bring joy. And yeah, and I'm just like redefining success for me. Like so much of the shit that we be worried about just does not matter. And the things that really do, we aren't giving it enough time and attention. Like our friends, you know, family, our health, like things that we're eating, things that we're consuming. And y'all, like even in the midst of recording this video, I'm actually dealing with a pretty big loss in my life, and I think I'll share that in another video, just like how I'm healing, how I'm processing that, because in the midst of identifying as a spiritually conscious being, when loss comes in our life, we're confronted with the realization like, oh, right, we can be all up in the clouds all day, but when somebody in your life who's important to you passes over to the other realm, that still impacts you. Like no matter how you are, she's still gonna have an impact on the spirit, you know? And so I'm giving myself grace in that. I've been on my own journaling, reflection, meditation process with that, and maybe I can share that with you all at some point once I go through my own process, you know? But I think what I'm just realizing now is, I love those memes that say like, you know, how you think a spiritual awakening is versus what it like really is, you know? And it's like, oh, you know, you think it's this beautiful, blissful experience, but it's actually the dark, deep night of the soul. Okay, you're dealing with different realms, you know, if you going through it, you know? But so I had that phase, I had that journey. But what's crazy is like, as you stay on the journey, you do get into that sort of like blissful side where things almost look like they're in technicolor, you know, where you feel like you looking around, you're like, oh, okay, this is a beautiful play in the imagination. And how beautiful it is, how beautiful it can be, and how amazing the trees are, and how beautiful paintings are, and how dynamic and vibratory music is, and how fun and free as like travel and trips can be, and just like having those moments with friends and family, how that can just be so magical and amazing, you know? And so yeah, I'm realizing the beauty of this life while also not spiritually bypassing and just going into my own little cocoon of cloud nine blissful energy. It's like, okay, how do you still manage the understanding that you in the matrix, but you still need to operate accordingly? Like you still got to reply to emails, you still got to make the phone calls, you still got to do the things, you know? So now I'm just trying to find a balance between those two energies. Good morning. So this is not a usual part of our morning routine, but it is one that we're dealing with today. So our favorite apple tree, literally the tree that inspired us to even purchase this house, has broken a very large branch. I'm grateful though, it's still alive, it's still okay, but we lost probably about over 70% of the apples in the branches of the tree. It was heavy, it was big, it was old, and I think it was actually decaying a little bit. You said what, babe?
It's down more than yesterday.
Is it? I was hearing it this morning. Just dangling Wow, it was rotted all the way through.
Yep, the whole core.
Yeah, we lost a lot of apples. This was actually like our favorite, like the apples that we actually loved. And now this is, and these don't, they don't ripen until August or so. Is it August or more September, babe, when these?
Yeah, we moved in and they weren't ripe, so it was definitely later than that.
Yeah, so maybe like early September, late August.
I think you should back up a little bit more.
Yeah.
And give it one more hit.
I think just a little push would do it.
I just don't want it to shred.
It's coming down, babe.
Okay.
No,
You're right,
just,
you're right.
yeah.
Okay. All right. We're done.
I guess. Granted, I'm grateful because we have more fruit trees, we got pears, we got more apples, but the other apples are like a Granny Smith. It's like a sour apple, but these were like sweet and red. It was only a matter of time.
Yeah, look at how rotted it was.
Yeah, and
It's
I'm
a
glad.
wonder.
Yeah, I'm glad nobody got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been the real kicker.
You
Okay.
know I'll get the chainsaw.
Okay. I think we gotta go around the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Oh.
It's hollow. It's completely hollow now. Look, you can see it right. You can look right in straight.
Girl, stop getting distracted. What was you talking about? The balance. Asking for help. Y'all, so y'all know I had the team. First of all, if you are new here, welcome, boo. Why do I do this so late in videos? Like, I don't understand. Anywho, welcome. Okay, I'm Eris Hammer. I'm a full-time artist working in Seattle, Washington, and I'm on a journey. I'm on a journey of figuring it out, and like I love sharing, of course, my art and my paintings and creativity, but also like spiritual life lessons, that like different downloads that I get, different dreams that I have, in hopes to help the collective and inspire you on your journey too. And that's really what I'm going through right now, while in the midst of like sharing some of my like art business things. And so in the midst of trying to like have the understanding, like, okay, girl, yeah, you are a sensitive soul. You are air sign, water sign, blowing with the wind, okay, with no sort of structure. You might need to get a team. You might need to have somebody on the team who can provide you with that structure. So Shannon is coming back, y'all. I'm super excited for that. On that journey, I've realized, yeah, oh, that's what I was trying to say about the damn dentist. Okay. Realizing that, yes, I am a sensitive soul, so plan accordingly. So she blowing the air on my teeth, and it's cold, and so it's like I have like teeth sensitivity too, you know. So she like numbing me up, getting ready and stuff, and I was like, yeah, that air is kind of cold. And she was like, oh right, yeah, right, you are more sensitive, let me make sure I give you more. And I'm like, yeah, doc. Yeah, I am more sensitive, so double it up. And I don't need the shade in the midst of it. Like, was that shade? Double the dose, doc, and keep it moving, okay? Like, so since we do know I am a little bit more sensitive, double it up, you know? Instead of like judging myself, like, oh, you need to be stronger, you need to be whatever. Like, no, do whatever is necessary for you to make it through, okay? And if that is getting more numbing medication, get more numbing medication. If that is taking more naps, take more naps, you know? On this journey, I'm just about to give myself as much grace as I need to, and making sure that I'm prioritizing play and joy in this life, because that's my definition of this world. That's what we genuinely here to do, is to experience and have the highs and lows of life, have the joy and have the pain, have both, because it helps aid us on our journey of just evolution. So I'm giving myself grace on a journey. I'm romanticizing every single experience. I'm creating pieces that inspire me. I'm realizing that I'm in the matrix, I'm in the illusion, but it can be my playground and not my prison. And how do I just bring as much joy and bliss and love and life into this world? She said, I will survive all as long as not her with her titties out. Summertime. The other thing that's been helping me is planning for problems. Problems is so unavoidable. Like, it's so natural. It's a natural part of life. Nothing is perfect. Nothing has ever been perfect. Things are going to constantly keep coming up. And so in this process of trying to avoid problems or avoid failures or avoid issues, it's like, no, girl, instead of trying to avoid them, prepare for them, because they literally are inevitable. They're genuinely a part of this experience. And I think in the sort of like manifestation community, you know, we constantly trying to monitor our thoughts and making sure we aren't thinking nothing bad, and like, oh, what if we plan for something wrong will probably happen. No, y'all probably know the saying, proper planning prevents poor performance. Okay, so it's not about like, oh, you would, it's like, no, if you about to go out on a camping trip and you check the weather and you saw that it's gonna be rain, to not bring a raincoat will be boo-boo on you. Okay, y'all, are we going there? Like, yeah, because we always do. Just get ready, okay? Get ready, because we always go there on the channel, okay? Some of the spiritual community stuff sounds, and this isn't no shade, y'all, this isn't no criticism, but I've just been on a journey for so long, okay? I've been on a journey probably maybe over like 10 to 15 years at this point. Probably even longer if you think about my sort of like Christian upbringing, which I don't identify as anymore, but it was definitely a foundational point to help me get through some phases in my life. But once I had a level of wisdom, I was able to take away the highlights from those teachings while leaving the dogma and just different things that like didn't serve me anymore, you know? So when I think about my sort of spiritual journey, it's really been my entire life. I felt connected to realms beyond my understanding, and now entering into my like mid-30s, I feel like now I have the language, I have the experiences, I have the wisdom to now be able to understand like what I was going through and what different ideologies was holding me back, and how I can move forward from a level of expansion, you know? And when I think about children, they are very, which is natural. This isn't like, these aren't adjectives to assign judgment, right? We already know that. So this is just literally childhood psychology, you know? And when you think about children, they are very self-centered from the perspective of them thinking that everything that's going on outside of their world is because of them. And that's why childhood trauma can be so dangerous, because people go through different things and feel like, oh, I'm the reason that my dad left, or I'm the reason that I was abused, or whatever. It's like, no, that had nothing to do with you as the individual. There's so many things going on outside of our understanding and outside of our personal actions that are not within our control, you know? And so once you get past the level of manifestation where you realize that yes, your emotions and your thoughts do impact things around you, but not from you literally manifesting something, but you changing how you identify. And when you have an identity shift, then you start behaving differently. You start behaving in a way that is aligned with somebody who is a millionaire. You start behaving in a way with somebody who is aligned as, you know, somebody who has financial freedom, or a partner that they love, or a home that they love, or the child that they've always dreamed for, or like whatever. You start to identify as that person, and you start executing in a way that's in alignment with the results that you want. And when you start executing and taking action in a way that aligns with what you want, you end up getting what you want, you know? And you don't end up judging yourself and being like, oh man, this happened because I thought something bad, or I did something bad. It's like, no, that's a very juvenile way of thinking, you know? And that's not to cast judgment. That's just to have an understanding of like, with time comes wisdom, and you start to realize like there's so many things going on outside of my control. Even when I think about this damn tree that fell in our yard, y'all, not that fell in our yard, our tree, that was our tree, my baby. Your girl cried real tears for that. She cried real tears. And so if I was from a perspective thinking that, oh, I had manifested this because I did something wrong, or I would have been thinking from a childlike level of spiritual evolution, versus now I know that tree is over 60 years old, and it has been decaying for years before I was even birthed onto this planet, you know, and that genuinely had nothing to do with how I was treating the tree. Now, yeah, could we have pruned it early? Could we have gotten some of the like heavy apples off sooner? Sure. Absolutely. But knowing when it came down to the root and the foundation of that tree, that was completely outside of my control. And so I'm grateful for a level of spiritual maturity that doesn't keep me caged in dogma and caged in perspectives that are so beyond my control. How do we make it through? We just do. We become the witness and breathe it all in. Observe it for what it is. Pray. Ask for guidance. They're listening. We're listening. I ask for peaceful purpose, a calm knowing, a beauty in pain, a matter. In the formlessness is nothingness. So we manifest it to create experiences. We have this same power, this free will to be and do as we please. You chose hope, joy, fun, and play. You said, I'll remind the people to laugh at the absurdity. You said, I'll dance, run, create, sing, love. You said, you'll go and be a living embodiment. You said, I'll go and I won't forget. But you did. Now it's time to remember again. Remember who you are.
I'm not who I used to be.
Remember who you are.
Enough already.